surftrainingfactory.com.
And Lucas Morley, as always.
Always coming in. He's clicking the buttons to play.
Yeah. We fired the dude that used to press the buttons on the camera.
We never had a guy. We will though. We will eventually.
That's no big deal. I like it this way.
It doesn't really matter.
No. Well, today, very important topic to talk about. Surf etiquette
Ooh.
to follow. Everybody needs to follow the surf etiquette. It just makes life easier for everyone, for beginners, intermediate, and advanced surfers.
Yeah, so there's something about that a lot of advanced surfers or locals, they think that, you know, they rule the world or something. And
that's
they
in
don't
every state,
actually,
any country, and continent.
They don't actually follow the surf etiquette, but I think everybody needs a refresher course.
Yes.
So that's why we're doing it today. We're going to refresh everybody's mind with the surf etiquette, whether you're a local, an advanced surfer, a professional surfer. I mean, honestly, everybody needs to follow it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right, exactly.
The professional surfers usually follow it the most.
Yeah, you're a ripper inside the water, but you're regular Joe outside of the water.
Exactly.
So
make sure you guys remember that. And you're beginner surfers, then this is perfect for you guys to listen to, because
you just know what to do and what not to do, and that way you don't get yourself in trouble when somebody's yelling at you. You'll know why.
We've seen that happen.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, not very fun.
No, so there's a moral code of conduct that we want to follow.
Yeah, so the etiquette is not very much like rules. It's more like, you know, following and being respectful with the other people so that you don't get yelled at or kicked off the beach.
Not only that, huge thing is the safety. So a couple of these etiquettes are actually safety related. That way you don't get your head chopped off by the fin or get the nose of the board to your face or start a fight, you know. But again, the other stuff is
yeah, because the ocean can be pretty scary, guys. I mean, honestly, it can kill us.
100%.
It really can.
Yeah.
So if
plenty of stories out there.
Yeah, so if we are safe and we take all those safety measures, then we should be fine.
Yeah,
As much as we can.
For sure. So what does it mean to have priority in surfing? That's the first thing we're going to be talking about. What does it mean to have priority in surfing? So
when you're surfing and you're on the peak, right? You're at the top where the wave is first breaking.
Well, let's say this.
Okay.
We are surfing right now. We're both paddling. We're laying down. Right?
Okay. So if it's a split peak, then he can go left and I can go right. Or, yeah.
So,
you guys understand.
right. Well, let's cover that too.
If we're facing the beach and there's this wave going this way, then it's a right wave. If it's going this way, it's a left.
And so for the beginners that need to understand is, so when you're looking, you're on the sand now and you're looking at the swell, you're looking at the waves, right? So you're looking this way, you're gonna be like, oh, there's a right. If it's going that way, that's not your right, it's the surfer's left.
Yeah, so you guys have to...
opposite.
Yeah, we're saying right and left depending on looking into the sand, looking back to the
so
shore.
we're on our surfboards right now, waiting for the wave to come, looking at the shoreline, and if we're going, it's our right and our left because we're looking at the beach, okay? And it'll be the same way if you're on the sand talking about it. Even though you're looking at the ocean, you're looking at, oh, this is my left, literally that's my left, it's still gonna be the surfer's right.
Right, so if it's a split peak, then I can go right, he can go left. But now if he decides to go right, he has priority because he's the closest. So he has to tell me and communicate. When it's a split peak, you guys have to communicate because there's a lot of accidents that way. Yeah. He has to say, I'm going right, I have to let him go because he's the furthest into the wave. Now if I want to go left...
So the white water's here. White water's on my left shoulder and I gotta go right. White water's breaking here.
Even though it's a split peak, he can still go right.
I have more of a wave to surf.
By like a foot. But
still the priority.
And then if I wanted to go left, then I would say the same thing. But you need to communicate if it's a split peak because there's a lot of accidents that way.
Yep, call it going right. Going left, or I'm on it. If you will have that priority, right? You say I'm on it. If she's like, I'm on it, I'll say, yeah, I'm on it too. I'm going right, buddy. Get out of my way. It's my priority, right? So just make sure you communicate that.
Yeah, and if it's a right, then he has priority because he's the deepest into the wave. So whoever is the deepest into the wave, actually has a priority.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. And then again, same thing if it's a right or just a left, you got to pay attention to all that too. And a lot of people go on by whoever was on the wave first. So to say there's a longboarder and they're already on that wave and they're surfing it, and you can catch it now with a shortboard. It's still their wave. They're already on it. Don't drop in on those people.
No.
That's still going to be their priority because they're already on that wave.
Right. Don't do that unless you're at the WSL and you have priority, then you can do that.
Exactly, yeah.
But everybody else doesn't do that, okay?
Yeah, make sure you actually communicate saying going right, going left, or I got it if it is your, instead of just making a noise. Because if it's a new surf and you're like, woo woo, yee,
well, I do that.
Like, yo, how are you going to know, what is this guy saying?
I go, yep. That's what I say.
See, so to me,
that makes no sense.
I'm going like, yep, like, yep, that's a good wave, I'm going too. What are we talking about here?
Okay, just say, I got it. Or like, hey, get off my wave type of thing. Don't be so rude because they're maybe not seeing you.
Maybe, that happens a lot. I have my people, I'm surfing a wave and somebody drops in and after that they're like, I am so sorry, I didn't even see you on that wave. And it happens.
Guys, if you do that on somebody, just genuinely apologize. Because if you don't apologize, it will start an entire fight.
Yeah.
So just genuinely, is that the right word?
Genuinely, yeah. Probably,
okay.
Yeah.
Apologize so they know that you really didn't do it on purpose. Just like when we're in school with kids, right? When we were little,
yeah.
And we're like, I'm sorry. Like, you actually meant it. Not like, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Sure, whatever.
Yeah. Right. Make sure you apologize because it will start.
And I know you might be thinking, well, they don't own the wave. They don't, but that's why the etiquettes are in place. So there's kind of rules that we can follow because nobody owns the ocean and it's just a free-for-all. And then literally it's a free-for-all fight. So,
yeah, that wouldn't be fun. If there was no etiquette and there was no rules, then we wouldn't be able to surf the entire wave.
Yeah, because everybody's going to be dropping into your wave.
Yeah, it will be a party wave every single time.
Yeah,
so
that's not good.
Don't do that.
No.
What's the second one?
Well, moving on to what does it mean to drop in?
Ooh, that one's huge. Don't do that on anybody. But dropping in is if Lucas is on the wave, for example, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go in front of him and I'm going to get in front of him because I'm tired of him surfing the wave. That's dropping in. I'm actually going in front of him and I'm going, whatever. I don't care if you're already surfing on the wave. I'm just going to go ahead of you.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, not at all. Again, that's going to be something where the guy's going to jump off his board as he's surfing and tackle you, like you guys have probably seen hundreds of YouTube, or they kick their board out directly towards your face and that sharp nose is flying towards you. I have seen that too.
Or they push you out. I've seen that happen too.
Yep, or whenever you catch your wave, you're paddling for your wave, and as soon as you stand up, they'll pull your leash and then you'll face plant.
Or they'll drop it on you on the next wave.
Or they'll drop on you on the next wave, and then it just becomes a battle of now you're frustrated, that dude's frustrated, and nobody's surfing because everybody's on purpose dropping in.
Yeah, now there's another type of drop in is going behind somebody. So if I'm well ahead and then you're going behind me, I guess
Saving.
Well, no, like just going behind and surfing the wave behind somebody. You could do that, but I would not recommend it. Because if they're going back for a cutback, you will get the board to the face.
Well, that's what's going to happen most of the times, especially if you're a beginner. You want to stay close to that white water, right? You want to be making most of your moves around that white water. You do go ahead of time for certain moves and stuff like that, but you normally come back, cut back, right to that white water because it's got more power, right? So that's what we're talking about. If you're by the white water and the person's ahead of you, that's cool and everything, but if they want to do a cutback like she said, and now you're there, you're on their wave, you got to kick out, or again, you got a problem in the dropping in. Even though you're behind them, you know, if they want to go back to that white water to generate more power, you're still...
If you're going to do that, make sure that the person ahead of you knows what's going on. Like, we do it, but I make sure that I tell them, like, hey, I'm behind you.
And honestly, with friends, a different story. I will see a perfect wave and I'll drop in on my friend.
But don't do that.
And then I'll laugh at him. But again, it's a friend of mine and we do it on purpose and it's okay, and then you move on.
Yeah, but some friends might not like that, so...
Yeah, just know who your friend is that's super shredder that can't take the drop in as a joke once in a blue moon.
Right. Well, not every wave. Don't do that on every wave. That can get frustrating.
No, well, yeah, you know, be smart enough to know what you're gonna do with your friends. So, anyways, so you know, the two types of drop in is exactly that. You know, the guy's already on the wave, and they're surfing. They're coming towards you, and then you jump on that wave in front of them, and cutting them off, and you start taking off on that wave.
Yeah.
So you're dropping in on them, and then the second one that she was talking about is she stood up further on away from the peak, and then you dropped in on the peak, but she was already on the wave surfing it. You still dropped in on that person because they were already.
Unless you're going straight, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you shouldn't go straight.
Well, I mean, if
like
you're
going
beginner.
straight. Okay, if you're a beginner, well, either way, if you're a beginner, yeah, you're catching that white water and you're going straight just to get the balance and understand.
Yeah,
but eventually, your goal is to surf the face of the wave and angle your board at the direction that the white water is opening, right? That the white water is not closing.
The blue water. That's what we call it. The blue water.
I call it white water.
No, the blue water is the face of the wave.
Oh,
the
I see what you're saying. Okay.
White. Oh my god. He is not. Guys, don't mind him.
And she has some hair there. There's no cameras.
Okay. Anyways, the third one is, what is snaking? Right?
No.
Okay.
How do you know where to paddle out? How do you know where to paddle out?
Sorry guys, I messed up.
That's okay. Beep. Cut off. Edit.
So, where to paddle out. Now, when you're first starting out, when you're surfing, don't paddle out straight where there's everybody, because they will catch the waves and they'll run into you. Paddle out where there's like a rip current, or there's a drop. What do you call it? A pass.
Oh, the rip current. You can go through the
Well,
rip
there's
current.
also like when there's a peak break, then you paddle around.
You just paddle around the peak.
Anyways, yeah, there's a paddle around the peak.
Did you talk about like a channel?
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
a
just
channel.
to me, it's a channel. There's actual a channel taking you out versus just paddling further out from the peak. You know, like in El Salvador.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, but there's a channel wherever there's no waves breaking and there's less people. This is where you want to paddle, right?
That's the best spot, right? Because like she said, if you're paddling straight to where everybody is at, and again, on a beach break, it might be tough to find a place where you can actually paddle out with so many people around, especially in Florida. But yeah, I personally do that. I avoid going straight to people because you're paddling towards where everybody's sitting. When they start dropping in on the waves, you're going to be worried about getting hit by the board or having to paddle towards the white water to avoid getting hit by the waves.
Yeah. So paddle where there's almost nobody or less people, where it's less crowded. It's just easier.
Yeah.
And it, like he said, if it's a beach break, yes, you're gonna get waves to the head, but most of the time, the channel, the rip, the other side where there's no waves, you're not gonna get hit as much. So
no, yeah, you can definitely do that. When there's a point break, then that's beautiful because you can, like she said, the channel, or the furthest away from that point break is the best. You don't even have to duck dive.
Oh no.
Right. Sometimes it's a further paddle though. Sometimes it's a further paddle.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
I get it. Well, I mean, here in Florida, we get to walk out a lot of the times waist deep water, and you don't even have to paddle.
Yeah, unless it's like 10 feet, then you're dying the entire way up.
Yeah. Hurricane life. That's about it though.
Yeah.
So, and then as you're paddling back, right? You're paddling to the peak. And
back to the lineup.
Somebody is surfing the wave now, okay? You're paddling back and you see them riding the wave and doing the 360s and all that stuff. You're like, man, I wish that was me. And so...
Does that happen to you often?
No, it doesn't happen to me. Me, of course not. No, never. Anyways, so there is the wave. There's the face of the wave, like she was saying, the blue water. And then there's that white water chasing that blue part of the wave, right? The face of the wave that everybody wants to surf. You're paddling towards that white water. In your head, you might be going like, man, I'm going to go to the face of the wave. That way I can just duck dive a clean face and not have to go through the washing machine of the white water.
And lose me your board and all this crazy stuff.
That is where you need to go. You need to leave that face of the wave to the surfer for him to surf. Think about yourself surfing that wave and how there's a guy paddling towards the face of the wave where you're trying to do your moves when he should be going to the white water where you're not going to be surfing that.
Right. So what do we call the people that go into the blue water instead of the white water?
Like the terminology?
Yeah. There's a name for it.
You're not thinking about kook, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Because I had to make up what I call them the kook.
No, it's not kook.
I don't know. Uneducated people.
Okay. Anyways, don't go in the blue water because you're gonna get hit. First of all, by the surfboards. It's just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, that person's gonna be pissed, like extremely. And I know it sucks to go in the white water. I dread.
I don't know. Keep going with the sentence and I can help you out.
Dread it.
Dread it.
Oh.
Not dredging.
Sorry guys, I'm not from here. I dread it every single time to go in the white water, just like you. But it's just the right thing to do. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the waves are huge and you know that you're gonna duck dive, but that duck dive is not gonna be as effective because it's shallow and that white water is hitting the bottom. It is what it is. Obviously, if there's a clean face and nobody's surfing it, 1,000%. Go to the face of the wave.
Catch the wave.
Well, yeah, if you can catch the wave and go with it. But if not, obviously you always want to paddle towards the clean face to duck dive when there's nobody on that face.
Right. So when you're going to that white water, if you know how to duck dive and you can duck dive, go ahead, do your duck dive. If you don't, do not ditch your board.
Yeah.
Do not ditch that board because if the person that's coming back, for example, to do a cutback, they might hit your board and then your board's broken. Or there's somebody behind you, they might get the board to the face. Yeah, or it can even hit you guys. It's happened to us. I mean, so don't ditch your board. Hold on for dear life. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Yeah, and sometimes you do get caught in the part where you're paddling to the face of the wave and nobody's on it, and all of a sudden somebody stands up on that wave and you're like, man, what do I do now? The best thing is probably just stop where you are, and let them go around you or over you, whichever way.
Figure it out.
And again, make sure that at the end, just let them know, like, hey man, sorry, I was just paddling to the face of just explain it shouldn't be a big deal at all. People will take that a lot better. You're saying like, man, you stood up out of nowhere and I didn't know where to go, so I just stood there, my bad.
Make sure you stop. Don't
goes a long way to communicate with somebody than them thinking that you just paddled towards them on purpose.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Awesome. Now, here's what we're talking about for what is snaking the wave.
It's actually just making an S, right?
Yeah, it's making the S around the person.
Yeah, so if...
So you definitely don't want to snake somebody, and this is where a lot of like better surfers will do that with people that don't surf as well.
But it's not really the right thing to do.
No, it's definitely not the right thing to do because that person doesn't know how to surf that well and they're trying to catch a wave, but the super ripper just keeps going around them. You just keep going. So pretty much you're going to go and you're going to paddle around. She has a priority to go surf the wave and I'm going to paddle around her.
To get the priority.
To get closer to that peak so I can drop in and now she's on my wave.
But he was on my left and then he goes all the way around to get priority. That's not like, you might think, yeah, he has priority. Sure he has, but he went all the way around me, so he doesn't.
No.
Because he snaked me, so he went all the way around to catch the wave. It was just not the right thing to do.
Yeah, if you're in a paddle battle, that's a whole different story in a surf heat and all that.
Well,
but if you're just free surfing, well, just explaining that to people that
if you're in a surf heat, then you better paddle and get your priority for sure. But other than that, this shouldn't be happening at all.
No, it's not really dangerous, but it definitely is annoying to do that to somebody.
It's annoying, it's disrespectful, it will start fight, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, because now that, again, it goes back to, do unto others as you want done to yourself. So you snake somebody, they're going to eventually snake you too. And now every wave... Or
they're going to drop in on you, it's just going to be
they're going to pull your leash, they're going to wax your car. Yeah.
They're gonna slash your tires. We can go on and on.
It gets pretty nasty out there. It can.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either, especially with the waves that.
Yeah, when you travel, guys, don't go to like local surf spots. Some people will tell you like avoid this spot. Just avoid it. Don't
or go with the local.
Or go with a local that knows who you are, not just a guide tour. Like a friend, because they will. I don't know. They get really mean for some reason.
That's tough. I mean, I've only had good experiences with guides. If I don't know anyone and I have to find somebody and hire them, you know. But
most of the time they'll be like, "Oh, he's my friend."
Right. That makes,
they'll play along with it.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, that's how
I've
some
done
people
that a couple times too.
That's how people make their money anyway. So other people will respect that more than anything. So make sure not to snake someone and understand that, and it goes back into the priority of the wave, right? It goes back to that same exact thing.
It always goes back to the priority, right? Because that's like the main source, okay? Just like the white water is the power source, the priority of the wave is the first rule, or the first etiquette you need to follow.
Yeah, once you're on the lineup.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And like, don't put your fins backward, should be important too. Or don't put your leash on your wrist, unless you're a boogie boarder.
Yes. I guess we need to cover
Then
these.
we should do a comical. We should do a comical one. Well, no, we should do eventually the whole thing, but that would be comical because we see that often, and it's comical to us because we understand it. But to other people that have never surfed, it doesn't. It's not common sense.
No, it really isn't, and you need to teach them. Like if you see somebody in the, I know we're getting off topic, but if you see somebody in the lineup and you know they need help, like go up to them and help them out. I do that often. I really do.
Right.
I help people out because they don't know. And you've been there. We all started the same way, guys. Like, remember that. We all started somewhere. And you want to make sure that you encourage them into getting better instead of going, oh, you're not good. Or not helping anybody else. It's not going to do good for you or them. So help
no
them
one
out.
was good when they started.
No.
You know? Even if you're a kid, you still didn't know how to do moves. You still didn't do it with Air 360 your first wave. So I guess you're not good.
No.
You know, if you want to go extreme, yeah, you did Air 360 your first wave. No, then you're not good. You had to still learn how to do it and learn how to wax your board and how to put on your leash and stuff.
Yeah, don't forget where you come from, for sure.
So 5, just other tips. Other tips, okay? Don't paddle up in the middle of the lineup.
We already talked about that.
Yep. Go to the uncrowded spots.
Yep.
Which are better, especially if you're a beginner. You know, if you know how to move around and maneuver around people in the lineup, then that's a whole different story.
You feel comfortable with that too.
Yep, that's true.
Sometimes
don't be a wave hog. Even if you have a stand-up paddle or a longboard and you can catch the wave further out, you're going to end up annoying other people. And if you have the stand-up paddle and you have the longboard and there's 40 other shortboarders out there, you're going to eventually be dropped in by 3-4 people on purpose because you're not sharing.
Hogging all the waves. It gets really annoying. Share a couple waves. Like, you don't have to share every single one, but share some waves because people will start getting mad.
Yeah, and then we'll do, you know, we've heard that, well, they should have picked a longboard or a stand-up paddle to surf this way. 100%. I'm just saying, you're going to have 3 or 4 people that are going to start dropping in on your wave, and
they're going to hate on you.
What are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah.
So, and it becomes a mess again, and that's what we're always trying to avoid is a headache and fight and aggressive. And surfing is supposed to be zen, and then it's not.
Yeah, it becomes like that.
What if you mess up during a surf session?
It's okay. Just genuinely apologize to the person. Just do that, and you'll be fine. Now, if it's a surf competition, you don't really have to apologize.
No. I mean, you messed up, you messed up. You're probably going to get a point deducted from, you know, your mess up.
Well, if you drop it on somebody, you lose, like, half of your second score. So don't do that because then you get...
what if you do what Jordy Smith did to
Felipe
Toledo on that one last event?
They have a new rule going on in the WSL. That's how it goes. And they know the rules. The surfers know the rules, so there's no excuses.
No. All right, well... This is what we have for a part of the etiquettes.
A part of it. We're going to have to do part 2 with the surf rules and everything like that. We'll cover all of that maybe in a month or so.
But this will mainly keep you safe in the water and know what to do once you're there on the lineup, where to go, where not to go, and understanding which waves are you riding. Being respectful
to the locals, to the other surfers. It's all about respect, guys. So as long as you're respectful to everybody, then you should be fine.
Yes.
You should.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Please don't forget to like, to comment, and to share with your friends. Again, there might be somebody that's brand new and they don't know what to do and you're kind of trying to explain to them, but you don't know what to say, or you really just don't have the patience to explain to them.
Send us our way. Send them our way.
Yep, send them our way. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast.
Yes.
Awesome.
Guys.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Next week already.